G'day guys, Josh here. Hope you guys have a great day today. We're going to go through the IEM Katowice 2023 pick'ems or tips or predictions or whatever you want to call it here. I'm not sponsored by anyone, so don't worry about that too much. Now these are what my pick'ems are and what my thoughts are about this competition coming up. So first of all, we got 16 teams in here as well, ready to go from via ranking systems or tournaments or anything like that. IEM Katowice is now a closed system, so there's no open or closed qualifiers for it. It's basically a ranking throughout the seasons, like the big tournaments, kind of like, Blast World Finals and stuff like that as well. So let's go through the teams quickly as well. We got the Furia v Permitter. Permitter is pretty much like, they're the odd ones out, kind of like Greyhound and IHC, where they probably won't be making it too far. They're the lowest seed in the tournament, even lower than Greyhound, Greyhound and IHC, which is quite impressive overall, okay, for an EU team to be in that sort of position. Now, overall, I gotta say right now, for Fury v Permitter, Fury should easily win this, even with the Rust, and, should be pretty much a step over. Now, for this one, Big v Complexity, I feel like Big will win this one in a BO1, even though Complexity have been showing some good signs, and they'll go on to the next big dance. Fnatic v EG. EG, it's really difficult with EG because EG shows signs of brilliance and shows signs of absolutely weakness, okay? And it's just horrible to see which one we're going to get. It's like Dr. Hyde. Whether we're going to get Jekyll or Hyde at this point. We're going to get Jekyll and they win, Hyde and they just fucking lose, okay? Fnatic, well, they got reliable teams in there. Finally, Mezzy and Krims get backed up with some very, very good riflers and AWPers. You got Nico back in there as well. You got Fasher, you got Roy. I feel like this Fnatic roster is looking pretty decent and they're going to be absolutely smashing EG in a BO1. Next up, we got Sprout versus OG. Sprout, we've got Zello. They've actually staved off, anyone getting Refresh or any other Danish players, even from Astralis, which is huge. They've got a big player at York role. They've got big riflers. I reckon this team may upset OG, but I reckon OG will shine out. It's winning 16-12. It'll be a very, very close matchup. I feel sorry for anyone in the lower bracket with Sprout and OG because these two teams versus each other this early is a bit unfortunate and should really be a BO3 instead. Spirit v Greyhound. Spirit should win this pretty easily. I don't imagine the Greyhound putting too much of a defense up. Spirit do have a bit of rust against them, but Greyhound have been not looking too good themselves. I mean, they lost to Rooster on Anubis 16-14, but they also crushed Rooster on Inferno 16-2, which is also a sign for them as well that they could upset here against Spirit, depending on what maps they pick. Spirit, I gotta say, I think they will shy away from Inferno and probably pick a map that are more suitable for maybe Vertigo and Mirage, potentially as well, where they've crushed teams previously. But we'll see what happens there as well. Either way, Spirit should have more of the maps in their favor, and they can basically do what they wish with Greyhound. MRBR v NIP, I guess overall, MRBR have been bleeding a lot of players to Imperial, which I do not understand why some of these MRBR players are going to Imperial, given the fact that Imperial don't get much tournaments due to lack of world rating. Overall, you got Ninja's Pajamas as well, have taken a gamble on Config, with Config being in the drama again and being able to get back in a team. People feel like he shouldn't be in a team or anything like that as well. Particularly, I say it's a big gamble for Nip to take on Config, given that he's got all that controversy around him. I hope it goes well for them, but definitely is a player that Nip would have. They also picked up Hedrick as well. They headhunted him, ironically enough, to back up Rez. Like I said, at this stage, they really need someone to help out Rez and Broline here in LXCB. They really need to get a team together urgently. I feel like Nip will win this one, though. Like, I feel that Nip will win this one against MRBR here, and will go up. Next up will be Ents v Pain. I feel Ents are still just got that veteran stats over Pain. Pain have done an incredibly good job for a young upcoming team to go through the hard way and to keep proving themselves time and time again and getting better and better as they go along. I reckon Ents is just too good. You got like too many great players in that lineup. Valde, Dihar, Madden, and Payas, Snappy. It's just impossible to get past them. Meanwhile, Pain, they've got some great players in Hards Out and Zevi and Big Uzera, but I think it's just going to be too much for them in the end for Ents. Cloud9 v IHC, I think it should be simply put. The IHC will be losing to Cloud9 to BO1. Shiro, Hobbit, Axa, Nafani. They traded out Intis for Buster. I'm not sure how Buster's going to turn up to this tournament, but Buster is a great entry fragger for VP before he was benched. And Shiro is just an incredible AWPer that can turn a map on its head at his own will. Next up, we've got the upper brackets, which will be Big v Furia. And I guess Big probably going to win that one at BO3. Big have been looking good. They've been kind of like the underdog in the Blast thing, so they flew under the radar and produced some pretty decent results for the team that they have. Next up is going to be Fnatic v OG. OG should win this 2-1. Probably be one of the closer games in the upper bracket as well for a BO3. It'll probably be crazy back and forth, but I think OG have it. Last but not least, we got Team Spirit versus NIP. Team Spirit will have this pretty easily. I reckon Team Spirit will shake off the Ross and just basically crush the NIP or MRBR. Whoever gets through here in a BO3, which I believe is indeed NIP, from my predictions. Ants v Cloud9, this will be probably one of the banger BO3s of the series. So I reckon it'll be Cloud9 in 2-1. And Ants will have to, unfortunately, go down to the lower bracket. Let's go to the lower bracket here, which will be Permitter v Complexity. I reckon Complexity will easily go through here as well. And also, they'll be versing, and Complexity will then be versing Ents, which drop from the upper bracket. And Ents will crush Complexity, unfortunately for Complexity. That they're going to have probably the two hardest teams, whoever loses in the upper bracket, coming down to versus in the lower bracket. And it's just really unfortunate for Complexity, where, like, if they don't win their first BO1, they are saying bye-bye, pretty much, unfortunately. Next up is going to be EG v Sprout. EG is going to lose. Depends on the Jekyll and Hyde story. Sprout will go through. Sprout will take on the loser of Nip and Spirit, which is Nip. That will be a close BO3. I reckon Sprout will edge that one out and win 2-1. And that's who I reckon that is going to be, basically Sprout getting another entry into Katowice. Next up is going to be Greyhound versus MRBR. Greyhound's probably going to lose this, unfortunately. It's going to be a very close BO3. Depends how MRBR is with Ringrost. And it really, really depends on how MRBR play at BO3 when they're losing all their best players to Imperial. Next up, MRBR is going to be playing Fnatic. And, well, MRBR in an uphill battle against Fnatic. I reckon Fnatic going to crush them. And sayonara, MRBR. Last but not least, it's going to be Pain versus IHC. IHC, a lot easier opponent for them, but I think Pain's going to drill them into them 2-0. Pain's a very, very strong Brazilian team. Has only been going up and improving ever since, they started and advanced their journey. And they just crushed. And they were crushing ESA Premier teams. Now they're crushing some Tier 2 and Tier 1 teams and just getting better and better. Unfortunately for Pain, well, is it really unfortunately here? Is that they'll be versing a team from number 1, which would be the loser, which would be Furia. Which means that at least the Brazilian team will be in Katowice, but they'll be basically eliminating each other here. And I reckon Furia, the big dogs, the Panthers, will still have a little bit up on Pain. It'll be 2-1, but I won't be surprised if Pain wins this in the end. But anyways, guys, that's my picks for Katowice. That's my picks in the end. The teams I'll go through will be Big, OG, Spirit, Cloud9, and then we got Ents, then we got Sprout, then we got Fnatic, and then we got Furia. Those are my picks. Hope you guys had a good one, and see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.